All right, friends, today's a big day as we have the non-farm payrolls numbers and the unemployment numbers coming out at 8:30 this morning. So it's possible that you see it by the time this video comes out. I expect them to be still fairly healthy from what we've seen, and you can see in the expectations if you go to Trading Economics. Look at the calendar for the US, you'll see that as well. So as long as we don't get things that are very rattlesome, so stay around that 4.1% for unemployment or better than that, 4% and lower, those are going to be very strong numbers for us. And then also what we're looking for non-farm payrolls, we want that number to come in nice and high for us to keep the party rocking, and that could send us to all-time highs for the S&P, for the Nasdaq 100, that we want to see that continued strength, we want to see that continued demand, and we'll look at the charts, we'll see what exactly is going on. We'll kick things off with SPY, plus I have some other opportunities to show you more recent ones, how they've panned out, and where other stocks could go. So Netflix, Roblox, I'll also cover Nvidia, Bitcoin, and XRP I'm going to bring up as well. So let me toss this up here, 609.83 is that number to beat, my friends. That's that red line going right across here. We've gotten 2 rejections during regular trading hours, and then if we go back here to December, you can see we couldn't quite make it up there as there's an area of resistance up here, but that top line on that area of resistance is that 609.83. Solid numbers today really could help us out. Subdued inflation numbers probably next week is that next thing that we're looking for, that next big catalyst. I think that's really coming our way. The combination of the two of them is going to be absolutely massive. So watch for that number up there, 609.83. If we get rejected off of it, then this rising wedge pattern is that thing that we want to pay attention to, because it's likely if we get a triple top off of that, that we start to push down through here, and then you can see this area of support that we have in here from about 581 to 586 is going to be important. Getting up on top of that, then we're really looking to see how long we stay in this rising wedge, because we can. Blasting out through the top of it is a bullish thing like you might see with the Roblox play. So let's move on to the Qs. QQQ, there's the trend line that we're watching. We need to get on top of that trend line in order to see that full further bullishness. And if we do, 550 is actually the next number that we really want to watch out for. And up above that, 558 is the huge number that we're watching for if we're able to flip bullish on QQQ. I think with the Nasdaq 100, maybe with the S&P, I think Nvidia, what happens with Nvidia, especially where the Nasdaq's concerned, is going to be something that's going to be highly impactful for looking for that AI infrastructure play that we want to see, that we still have robust growth coming along for infrastructure. With that said, we'll go to IWM, then we'll jump over to Nvidia. Since I did break it up for IWM, need to make it over top of that 50. We did. We closed up above it on Wednesday, but then Thursday closed back down below it. Jobs numbers today are going to be huge for that. So watch for that. If we make it on top of the 50, get to close a full candle on top of the 50, that we could keep us in bullish territory. You can even see with the RSI down here that has been oscillating back and forth across 50. And the indecisiveness is still there, my friends. For the Russell 2000 stocks, we need tight labor market, we need low inflation, and we need strong GDP numbers to come along with easy monetary policy. There's the 4 factors that we're looking for that rampant growth for the Russell 2000 stocks. So moving over to Nvidia. For Nvidia, we are right in the meat and taters territory for resistance, 128 up to 133, and I even have these lines on here for historic support and resistance, which go about 126 up to about 132. So breaking outside of that, whether it's per history or as per the Fibonacci retracement values that we have, getting back on top of 133 is going to be absolutely huge for us for seeing that further upside. I think we're still going to have doubts. Check at the moving averages we have with the 50 and the 20. I'll take away the technicals for a moment. We could definitely easily reject off the 20. We could reject off the 50, leading up to those Nvidia earnings at the end of the month. So the market could definitely rally between now and then, but that looming uncertainty, if you will, for Nvidia is going to be something I think is going to keep that price action subdued for a little bit yet. So we'll watch and see if that does happen. Earnings come out, and I will have my Nvidia stock price prediction and earnings projection ready to go for that well before that earnings date, so you guys can check it out. I'll put those numbers out first over at the Patreon. That link is down in the description. It'll be available through the Discord that's part of that Patreon. That's where I post everything. So you want to check that out along with my buys and sells. Let's move along into Roblox. So Roblox, I talked about this because the rising wedge pattern that we were in, we blasted through the top, and I said if we do, that could be bullish. And you can see we broke the top, kind of hesitated, came down and touched support on this thing. Let me zoom in a little bit so we get a little bit of noise off the screen for you so you can see what happens. And then, like I said, when you blast out the top of a rising wedge, it's a bullish thing pushed up to over $75 per share, almost $76 per share. Earnings came out and we dropped like a rock during the pre-market hours, we actually touched down to all the way down to 50, and then I said watch out for that 50-day because that could be a significant bounce for us, and it was. I exited my put option position for a 20% gain as my 100% gain order got slipped right at the open. I knew that was going to be a tough one to hit. I knew that this thing opening up near the 50 was going to be troublesome for exiting that put option play early enough, but I'll still take that 20% gain. That was very nice for me. Watching out for the 20 up above, which is where we currently closed and we sit during the pre-market hours. We could still see that rejection off the 20. We could still see this sort of being a retest of this bottom part of the rising wedge. If we get retested and if we fall back out of that, that could be something that we look for still that little bit of a drop back down to the 50. We're going to have to watch and see. That 20 is the determining moving average that we're looking at right now. That's that blue moving average coming up across your screen. If we stay below that, we'll probably fall back down a little bit. Probably not hugely, wildly so, but we will fall back down from that if we fail to break the 20. If we recapture the 20, then we're looking back at where we caught this previous hesitation in the low 70s. So keep your eyes open for Roblox. Netflix, I talked about this. We had to go to the 4-hour chart for this one. Talked about the bullish pennant play that we saw on that, which is coming to fruition. 1030 is what I said for that price target from the consolidation pattern, from that pennant part of it. And then if we catch that flagpole part of it as well, we could see 1100 come out per share for Netflix. But I mean, it's taken a while to really come out of that since it broke the top. It seemed to almost shake us out of it. But we can see this bottom part of the pennant serving as really, really good support for us. And keeping that held on as support is allowing us to push up. We're getting close to that 1030 number for Netflix. I think I capitalized with maybe 30% gain on that one on my call option as I cashed it out because it was a short-term play. I didn't want to hold it over the weekend, so I sold out of that on Friday. So let's move from there into Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, still a double top. Still watching to see what happens around 95,000 so far, finding support. The big support still down here. Massive if this is broken. So far, we haven't gotten back down to it since a couple days ago. And then to the top side, 107,892 is that number. If we're looking to be wildly bullish on Bitcoin in the near term, that's what we have to get above to see that next big price movement come out from Bitcoin. XRP, lagging a little bit. Now, mind you, I said right in here is that by the support area that we could see from history going to this part of the consolidation pattern. We dipped below it just a little bit, but today getting right back into it, getting on top of that, then getting back on top of the 20 and the 50 is going to be huge for us as well. That's what it's going to have to stay up there. If we're in the near term, we're going to retest that 340 and push onto that $4.72 for XRP. So guys, non-farm payrolls and also what we see for unemployment going to be huge today. I gave you the supports and the resistances to look for, whether it's SPY, QQQ, IWM, and then also what to expect for Nvidia. And then Roblox, honestly, we could still see a further drop from here. That 20-day is the big thing. Watch out for Netflix as we could see further upside from that. If that bull pennant continues to play out, we're going to have to watch and see. So far, that consolidation part, that price target looks like it might just happen for us. We're really darn close to making that happen. And then for Bitcoin, still definitely bullish territory. Right now, we got a double top. We're seeing if it holds or if it's something that gets broken. We got to watch for a triple top on that. We really want to sit on top of 107,892. XRP, I think, is going to follow suit unless we get outside catalysts coming out. Talk about ETF approval for XRP, for example. It would be something huge for that. And then also further developments on the sovereign wealth fund, which could include Bitcoin in that. And I heard speculation. I think Coin Bureau is the channel that I was watching. Absolutely love it for crypto. I highly recommend that you check it out. I have no connection, no affiliation with them. I just think that they put out a lot of high quality information, and I believe June was the time that they talked about seeing possibly that the sovereign wealth fund with Bitcoin included between now and then, so that at least gives us some sort of time frame of about the next 4 months or so, watching for that big news. So a little bit longer view on that one. I'm going to wrap things up. Guys, check out the Patreon to support this channel. Head on over to the Discord to find the information that is available that I put out to my members. And that link, like I said, down in the description. Also, while you're down there, check out the link for Stockmo Academy to learn about technical analysis and get access to the bread recipe trading strategy that I personally use, Stockmo personally uses, and the people who have joined that course and signed up, they also use it, putting out tons of testimonials all the time about covering the cost of that course in as little as one trade. And you can get it cheaper by using the code word DOCTOR, DOCTOR, to get a massive discount on that course. Thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.